All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, hits home for pretty much all of us. Why do we fail? Even when we feel like we are giving it our absolute everything. We're going to break down the hidden architecture of what actually makes success stick.
So, let's just put the question right out there. Why do most people fail? I mean, think about it. That new project, that fitness goal, that business idea you had. You start off with so much fire and energy, but more often than not, it just fizzles out. What's going on there?
And here's the thing that's going to sound kind of backwards at first. The problem isn't a lack of effort, not at all. In fact, most people who are failing are actually trying incredibly hard. So if throwing more effort at the problem isn't the solution, what is?
Well, this leads us right into something we can call the effort trap. It's this vicious cycle of trying in the wrong way, for the wrong reasons, and honestly, for the wrong amount of time. It's the difference between being busy and actually being productive. Okay, so let's peel back the first layer of this trap, chasing the wrong thing. This is all about where we're pointing all that hard work and all that energy in the first place.
And this right here, this is the fundamental mistake most of us make. We focus on the outcomes. You know, the money, the promotion, the number on the scale. But here's the problem. Those things are way down the road, and a lot of it is out of our direct control. The real winning focus is on the systems, the repeatable process, the schedule you can actually stick to, the little things you can control today.
I want you to really let this sink in. Winners fall in love with the process. Losers wait for proof. See, if you need to see the final result to feel motivated, you are almost guaranteed to quit long before the system ever gets a chance to work its magic. Real, sustainable success comes from finding joy or at least satisfaction in just doing the work itself.
And you know what? When you focus on systems, it totally flips what you even pay attention to. It's so easy to get caught up tracking activity, right? How many hours did I work? How many tasks did I check off? It feels super productive. But what actually moves the needle is progress, the new skills you're picking up, the mistakes you're learning from. There's an old saying, what you measure is what improves. So we've got to stop measuring busyness and start measuring growth.
All right, let's move on to the second big reason things fall apart, relying on the wrong fuel. You can have the fanciest car in the world, but if you put the wrong gas in the tank, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so on one hand, you've got the unreliable fuel, motivation. It's an emotion. It's awesome when it's there, but it's totally fleeting. It's that little voice that says, yeah, I'll do it when I feel like it. And on the other hand, you have reliable fuel, structure. It's dependable. It's the commitment that says, I don't care how I feel, I'm doing it because it's on the schedule. Because when things get tough or boring, and trust me, they always do, motivation is the first thing to disappear. Structure is what carries you through. So why are we so addicted to motivation, even though we know it's going to let us down? Well, it's pretty simple, actually, because structure often forces us into discomfort. Real growth means learning new skills, which by definition means you're going to be bad at something for a while. It means you might risk looking foolish, and most people will choose the comfort of staying busy doing what they already know over the bravery it takes to actually make progress. And this leads us right into the third big pitfall, something I'm sure we've all been guilty of, trying to maintain a completely unsustainable pace. We get this burst of excitement, and we try to change everything all at once. Look, the big idea here is so important. Progress is about focus, not frenzy. Trying to juggle 10 different goals with 5 different strategies is just a recipe for overwhelm, burnout, and inconsistency. The real path forward is so much simpler. Pick one goal, build one system around it, and move in one single direction.
I bet this timeline looks painfully familiar to a lot of you. You start off with a ton of excitement, but then you hit the quiet phase. This long, slow, frustrating period where it feels like nothing is happening. You're putting in the work, but seeing 0 results. And that leads you to the quit point, where giving up honestly feels like the most logical thing to do. But here's the secret. The breakthrough, that visible success you've been dreaming of, almost always happens just on the other side of that point of maximum doubt.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time diagnosing the problems, right? The traps, the pitfalls. Now for the good part. Let's talk about the solution. Let's talk about building an actual system for success.
And the whole philosophy behind this is actually really simple, but it's a game changer. Small course corrections will always beat dramatic restarts. You don't need to burn everything to the ground and start over every time you hit a bump in the road. You just need to make small, consistent, intelligent adjustments as you go.
So what does that look like in real life? Well, here's a little checklist you can use to audit yourself like right now. Just ask yourself these 4 questions.
Number 1, do I actually have a system, or am I just hoping for a result? 2, is my effort truly focused, or am I spreading myself way too thin? 3, am I staying consistent even when it's boring and I can't see the progress yet? And finally, number 4, and this one's huge, am I actually improving, or am I just repeating the same things over and over again without learning?
And all of this, it all boils down to one single powerful idea. If you fix how you try, you don't need to try harder. Success isn't about finding more willpower or just grinding harder. It's about having a better strategy. It's about shifting from brute force to intelligent design. So, the question I'll leave you with is this. What's one small course correction you can make to how you try starting today?